Well, hello everybody. I hope that you're having a good Friday out there so far. I wanted to take today's devotional and kind of preview where we're going to be going for the next few devotionals that I'm leading on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And this, I don't know how many days this will take, but we've just finished a booklet called Don't Take the Bitter Pill. And I am so excited about this. It's something that I have wanted to write for a long time. And thankfully, we got it written, we got it edited. Rick Lipsey designed a beautiful cover for it, as he always does, and so it looks good. And it's really based on the story of Jonah in the Old Testament. And if you're familiar with that story, you know that Jonah had a major problem with bitterness. He was bitter against the Assyrians who had so mistreated the Israelites through the years. And you just see that bitterness all through the book of Jonah. And so what I tried to do in this little booklet is to talk about the cause of bitterness, some of the consequences of bitterness, and then what is the cure for bitterness. And so to fully cover that in a devotional setting, I want us to take 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, however many it takes, probably not that many, devotionals, and just think about bitterness, the things that cause us to be bitter, what happens to us when we become bitter, and so on. But today, I just wanted to kind of maybe whet your appetite a little bit and at least give you a little guideline for where we're going to be going for the next few days. It's interesting, I'll read this from the introduction. Webster's Dictionary tells us that bitterness is characterized by strong feelings of hatred, resentment, and cynicism. And so maybe today, bitterness is something that you're struggling with. Maybe somebody has done something to you or against you or behind your back that just wasn't right. And in your heart of hearts, you know it wasn't right. And yet you're struggling with how to deal with the bitterness and the anger and all these emotions that we struggle with when we go through something that's just not right and it's just not fair. And so we know that God doesn't want us to be bitter. He wants us to put that behind us. He wants to give us victory over bitterness. And the next few devotionals, I hope that we can, or that I can say some things that will be helpful to you and very practical steps that you can take as you might be battling bitterness right now. We know as we begin a new year that, at least, for me, I always think that January is the time to deal with some things to get us in a position to have the best year possible. Of course, if we're dealing with bitterness in August or September, we got to deal with it then. But the point I'm making is that there's something about January with the beginning of a new year that just gives us an opportunity to say, God, I don't want to carry with me some of the negative emotional baggage that I had with me last year. I want to be free from that. I want to travel light. And I don't want to be carrying these heavy weights around. So we'll start dealing with this on Monday. But before we even get into that, let me just say to you today, so you don't have to be bitter all weekend and carry that with you through today, Saturday, and Sunday. If you can understand that you have within you the ability not to be bitter, that God has given you the ability to release that and to be free of that by doing one of two things, and it just depends on what's caused the bitterness. If your bitterness has been caused by a person who has hurt you in some way, the thing that you need to do and the thing that you must do is to forgive that person. Now, they may never ask for your forgiveness, but that's between them and God. But your forgiving them is between you and God. In order for you to be free, you've got to forgive them. Now, if your bitterness is caused not so much by another person, but by a circumstance that has happened, something's happened in your life, and maybe you're upset with God, maybe you're bitter at God, and God, how could you allow this to happen to me? Well, the way to deal with bitterness in that context is not by forgiving, because there's nobody to forgive, but by saying to God, God, I trust you with that which I cannot understand. And I believe that you have a plan for my life and that you have allowed this difficulty into my life for some reason, unknown to me presently, but certainly known to you. And so I choose to trust you with that. And so, we'll be dealing with these type matters in the next few devotionals, but I don't want you to go through weekend being bitter. You can be free of that by making a choice to forgive that person or those people who have hurt you. Just forgive them and trust God with circumstances that are not easy. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to picking up on this topic when we're together again on Monday. Bye-bye.